Hi, good afternoon. Nice to see you all for those that are here. It's good seeing you this afternoon. What we'll be discussing today will be on leadership and people management and struggle. Uh, as we all know, Yoruba Nation, be it Yoruba Nation, be it Biafra, we are in the same dilemma, and we're trying to you have our own nation, but the way we are going about it, is it the right way? That is yet to be determined. Are we doing things the way we should do it? That is yet to be determined. That will be determined after our discussion today. So what I'll be doing today will be, I'm going to take us through leadership and the way a leader should manage his followers. Okay, so in essence, I'll be discussing people management theory, leadership theory. There are some characteristics that a leader must possess. Does our leaders possess these characteristics? We get to find out. But what I'll be emphasizing on today is going to be on Yoruba, as you know, I'm a Yoruba person. But actually, it is transferable. Um, for the Biafrans who are here watching this show, you can actually reflect on what I'll be taking you through today. And then, soul searching, check your side as well, because we are in the same struggle. We are having the same problem. Are you people doing it the right way? Do you have the right leadership? That's up to you to determine. But so what we're having today is not a show, it's an educative, uh, uh, more of like an educative show. So I'll take it as you are in the lecture theater, and I'm here actually taking you through, facilitating it, the process to you. So we are going to start by actually, I'm going to share a PowerPoint slide with you. Yeah. So start. Yes. So we start. So I'm sharing this PowerPoint slide with you. So what is it about? Okay. So as you can see, the title read leadership, and that's Yoruba Nation leadership. Like I said, it's going to focus. My discussion is actually going to focus on Yoruba Nation leadership. I will try and mix English and Yoruba with it. So I know our people are nationalists, and I know they prefer to have it in Yoruba language. So because of this, I'm just going to focus more on Yoruba. Okay, but I'll mix English with it. So the title is leadership. So, like I said, it's going to be leadership and people management on struggle. As you know, we are in a dynamo. Yoruba Nation struggle is in a dynamo. We are in a state of shock. I'll be honest with you. We have reached at that end. We've reached at that point where we no longer know what we are doing, and it is time we check ourselves. Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the way we should do it? We are yet to determine that. Okay, so that is the title. That will take me on to the next slide. Yeah, what is leadership? If I'm to start. So, leadership, you see, according to Bill Gates, we all know Bill Gates. He's a philanthropist and he's a rich guy. He defines leadership as a person who look ahead. That's a person who look ahead into the next century. You're looking at the next century. Leaders will be those who empowers others. That means those people behind them, they empower the people behind them. They look ahead. Wọ́n wo wájú, wọ́n wo future. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ try láti ṣe kíni. Àwọn tó ń bọ̀ ní ẹ̀yìn wọn, àwọn tó jẹ́ followers wọn, wọ́n empower wọn. That is what leadership is about. So that's Bill Gates, definition of leadership. Right. Okay, now I've got another definition of leadership, and that is from also an American scholar, Warren Bennis. He defined it as leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Now, let's look at that definition. You want to translate capacity, you want to translate vision to capacity. What's our vision here? Kini vision our Yoruba. Vision one we want to have our own country. We want to have our own state called Yoruba Nation, isn't it? Yes. So that is our vision. So a leader who will be leading the struggle or who is leading the struggle must have a vision. And the vision is how we achieve our goal. We must have our aims and objective, our target. The issue now is how we achieve this. That is the question. How we achieve this. Not until we achieve it, it will not come to reality. But after we achieve it, then we say it's come to reality. So that is the responsibility of a leader. Okay? So then I've got another third definition here. The third definition is a leader is someone who has a strong strategic vision. Vision again. You remember the second definition also contains the word vision. Okay? And goal. That means you have a vision. You have your main. You have your aims. You have your objective. You know what you're after. You know what you are going after. You know what you're looking for. Okay. That's your vision and goal. Knows how to motivate. You motivate and mobilize people around that goal. And knows when to listen and follow others who bring their own skills and qualities to the table. If you look at the third definition, it's heavily loaded, to be honest. Heavily loaded. That means a leader must be able, must be willing to lead. A leader must be willing to listen to his followers, not just leading. Okay? Your whole followers too, they have got their skills, they have got their own ideas, they are experts in their own areas as well. So you must be willing to listen to your followers. You must be willing to take people's advice. Okay? Bring people in. Don't take it on yourself alone. Don't take it as you alone can do this thing. That is not true. You alone cannot do it. A leader cannot lead alone. You need the support of your followers. Àwọn tó ń tẹ̀lé ẹ, ìwọ tó jẹ́ leaders, o need the support àwọn tó ń tẹ̀lé ẹ, o ò lè dá ṣe. Okay? So you must be willing to listen. Okay? Kò ń ṣe pé kó pàṣẹ nìkan, o gbọ́dọ̀ listen sí àwọn èèyàn tó ń tẹ̀lé ẹ lẹ́yìn. Gbọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n ní, nǹkan tán ní sọ. Idea títí wọn gbọ́. Don't just push people off. Don't brush people off like they are nobody. No, a leader must be willing to listen and follow others as well. That means as you are a leader, you must be willing to follow as well. Not only your followers following you or listening to you, you must be willing and be ready to follow other people as well. And you must be willing to also take advice, because some of your followers have got some skills which you as a leader doesn't have, and that will complement yours. Don't see that as a threat. Don't take it as a threat. Don't take it as they're taking your responsibility from you. No, there's nothing like that. You listen to those people because they've got their own qualities as well. Take that into account and bring that on board, and that will actually boost the way you do things. That will boost your aims and goals, and that will make your aims and goals be achievable. So those are the three key definitions I'm giving you now on leadership. Okay, so I have now, let's try and apply it to the case of our leaders in Yoruba Nation. Does our leaders possess all these things? This definition, do they have a vision? Do they have a goal? Are they willing to listen to their followers? Not me alone. Someone else is going to take my responsibility. Someone else wants to take my position. Someone else is going to take this. Someone else is going to do that. It's a lie. There is nothing like that. You must be willing to listen, because there are other peoples out there. There are other peoples who are your followers, who have some qualities that you don't have. And if you take those qualities, listen to them, take the advice, that will complement yours. And that is when you get things done. So that will take me on to the third slide. Now let's make that comparison. Mo ti fún yín ní definition mẹ́ta, nǹkan tí leadership tó entails, the meaning of leadership, okay, and how a leader should manage his followers. And do not forget, as a leader, you are also a follower yourself. Do not forget that. You are a follower yourself. So now, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And if you are there, if you are following me, I want you to drop something on the chat box. By doing that, then I'll know you are following me. I know you are paying attention, and let's reason together. That is why I say this is not a show. This is more of like educating ourselves. And I want you to be honest. Take your pen, take a paper, take a pen and write. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wà honest pẹ̀lú ara yín. Ẹ má wà bias, ẹ má sọ pé ẹni tí mo support rẹ̀, ẹni tí mo support rẹ̀. Àwa wá fún ẹni tó bá think logically. Ni platform yìí wà fún. If you can think logically, don't be biased. You are neutral. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and that's what you are saying on this platform right now. I will ask you a few questions, and I want you to drop something on the chat box, and I'll have a read, and that will signal to me that you are actually following what I'm trying to present, because this is more of like a presentation, and it's going to be an interactive presentation, because I just want to get people's feeling, how you feel with the whole mess going on, because it's a mess. I'll be honest with you. So I'm going to start. First, the first question is, what definition of mẹ́ta tí mo ti kà síta yẹn? Nínú definition tí mo kà síta yẹn, mélòó, yeah? And I can actually paste out that definition. I'm going to bring that up now. Just bear me a second. Bear me a second. I'm going to actually bring that up now. Definition, I'm going to share it with you. The first definition, okay, from Bill Gates, I'm going to share that with you. Read it on your own first. Okay. Before I ask you this question. That's the first definition. Okay. That's the first definition of a leader. Right. Now, I'm going to bring you the second definition. Examine the definition yourself and use that in reflecting. That should reflect in the questions I'm going to ask you next. Okay. This is the second definition of leadership. Okay. And then I'll come up with the third one. Okay. So I'm going to drop the third definition of leadership on the chat box. Please have a read. Please read. Ejo, Eka. I'm going to give you like 2 seconds to read those definitions. After reading the definition, then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay? And I want you to respond. Drop something on the chat box. By dropping something on the chat box, that I will know you are actually with me, and then by doing so, then it is really interacting. Okay. Now, I believe you have read it. Now let's move on. Comparison now. Definition mẹ́ta tí mo fún yín lórí leadership yẹn. Our leaders mẹ́ta la mọ̀ ta ní nínú Yorùbá nation. The first leader is Banji Akintoye. Second leader is Sunday Igboho. And the third leader is Mrs. Onitiri. So the question I'm going to ask is, do your leaders fall into that definition criteria? Those 3 definitions I have given, does any of your leader possess those definitions, that possess any of those criteria in the definition? That's the first question we should ask ourselves. Are they tolerant? Do they have a vision and a goal? Are they willing or they are ready to motivate and mobilize people? Not only that, are they ready to listen to their followers? Because there are some of their followers who have some skills, who possess some skills which they, the leader, doesn't have. And that shouldn't be seen as a threat. Instead, it should be seen as something that they can actually take advantage of, that will complement whatever skills and attributes your leader possesses, and that will complement the whole thing for them. Do your leaders fall into the definition of those criteria? If you think your leader fall into the definition of those criteria, please, you can just signal, drop yes or drop no on the chat box, and I'll really hear. And the second question is, have your leaders empowered you? Ìwọ tó jẹ́, you believe in self-determination. Ṣé ìhùwàsí àwọn leaders tẹ̀yìn ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àwọn leaders mẹ́ta tí mo pe orúkọ wọn jáde yìí? Do you think they have empowered you? Do you think they have motivated you? Do you think they have a vision? Have they empowered you? A leader should empower his followers. A leader, okay, should be inspiring. Okay? Are these leaders inspiring you, the followers? Ṣé pẹ̀lú gbogbo chaos tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́? Ṣé pẹ̀lú fracas tẹ̀ ń bára yín ṣe? Ṣé èpè tẹ̀ ń ṣẹ́ fúnra yín? Èébú tẹ̀ ń búra yín? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe campaign mọ́ yẹn? Did you think you have been empowered by your leaders? Ṣé nǹkan tó empower yín kẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn? Wọ́n ní tí ilé bá ń tò, wọ́n ní àgbà abẹ̀, òun ní kẹ́ wò. Wọ́n ní tí ilé bá jẹ̀ tó ń dàrú, wọ́n ní àgbà abẹ̀, òun náà ní kẹ́ wò. So, have your leaders empowered you? That is another question. That's the second question. And the third question is, have your leaders transformed your vision into reality? And what is the vision? The vision is to have a state of ours, to have a Yoruba nation, to have a Yoruba state, to have Yoruba country. And that is our vision. Have your three leaders managed to transform that vision into reality? Ṣé ẹ ti ní Yoruba country yẹn báyìí? Torí this is the third or fourth year. Ṣé ẹ ti achieve Yoruba country? What effort has your leader made to turn that vision into reality? Have they made any effort? Only the effort so far that I have seen that those leaders have made is they empowered you to insult each other. They empowered you to fight each other. They empowered you to curse yourself. They empowered you they are instigating you against each other. They are instigating you to cause harm. So far, if you look at the third question I just asked, our vision has not come to reality. Why? Because we don't have responsible leaders. Yes, all the three leaders. Yes. And the fourth question is, have your leaders motivated or mobilized you? Have they motivated you? How has your leader motivated you? So far, from what I cannot speak for you, but I can speak for myself. But so far, from what I've seen so far, our leaders have motivated our youth to fight each other. They have motivated our youth to turn against each other. They have motivated our youth to do things that are not even things that you think they are not visible. But these things were made visible by our leaders. Have they mobilized you? They've mobilized you to fight each other. Yes, our leaders have mobilized us. They mobilized us to curse each other. They mobilized us to fight each other. They mobilized us to go after each other. They mobilized us to do all sorts of nasty things, naughty things, silly things. So far, to be honest, their influence has been negative. The influence of these leaders on their followers have been negative. They have failed to listen to their followers. They see their followers as their threat. Okay, you as a followers, you have your own skills as well. There are some areas you're very good in that your leader is not good in that area. Your leader should not see you as a threat. Instead, your leader should listen to you. You as a person, your leader should listen to you. Okay, those skills you've got, take that in. When you listen to your followers, you take that in, and that will complement, okay, the skills the leader possesses itself, and that will make things easy for the leader. So a leader does not only lead, a leader must be a good listener. A leader must be a good listener. Listen to your followers, not just leading. Okay, so and that will take me on to the fifth question. And the fifth question is, have they listened to your opinion? Have they listened to your opinion? Which I doubt. They have not listened to any opinion. As far as I'm concerned, all they are after is their own goal, their after position. You've not achieved the Yoruba nation, and you see them. What they are after is, you are the foreign minister, you are the secretary, you are that, you are that, you are the attorney general. Who made them the attorney general? You've not even gotten to the halfway of the journey. You've not achieved anything. And here you are doing that. You are not listening, and you have your followers complaining. And when your followers are complaining, and the right thing for a leader is you listen to your followers. But when you don't listen, you are not listening to your followers, trust me, your followers will drop. They'll fall off, and that's why we are seeing all this chaos we are seeing right now. And that will take me on to the last question. And the last question will be, have they followed others who bring their own skills and qualities to the table? Do not forget that a leader must be, like I said, a leader must be a good listener. As a person, I am not a leader, you are not a leader, but there are some areas, there are some skills you have, there are some characteristics you have as a person that your leader doesn't have. Okay, now you possessing those characteristics, you possessing those qualities, you shouldn't be seen by your leader as a threat to him or her. You must be willing to listen to your followers. Take that on board. Take those skills, take those qualities, take those characteristics on board. In so doing, you can use that to complement what is absent in your own skills. I mean, you don't have everything. You don't know everything. Okay? Use that to complement yours as a leader, and that should help you going forward in achieving your goal, your vision, aims, and objective. So that is how things should work. So I have made those comparisons. So far, we can see that our leaders have not been a good example to us. They are chaos. They are doing the opposite. They are doing things that are detrimental to our vision, our goal, aims, and objective, and that could delay things. Things we're supposed to do within 5 years. You will see yourself. You find yourself 15 years to come. You've not achieved that vision. Why? Because of that. Your leadership, the leadership styles, are they fit? Are they fit to be a leader? Do they have those qualities? Do they have those attributes? Do they have those characteristics to lead the Yoruba people? So far, from those questions I've asked, at least I've asked 5 questions. So far, I don't think any of those leaders possess those skills or possess those quality and attributes and those characteristics to be a leader. And that will take me on to the next slide. So our primary goal for today will be, we want to examine if Yoruba Nation struggle is on track. Are we on track, or we're falling off track? Are we on track, or are we doing the right thing, or we are not on track. And we will determine that as we progress with this presentation. Now, that will take me on to the next slide. And the next slide is types of leadership. So what I did here is I've actually picked, there are different types of leadership. But what I did was I picked on those leadership styles that I know fit into our discussion today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to orientate you on the types of leadership and what actually fits into our struggle. And going forward, we think I'll be able to recommend this to our leaders, and I hope they will listen. Please, we appreciate if you can just share this presentation to our leaders wherever they are. And that will take me on to the next slide. Oh. So now, first, leadership. So democratic. When we say democratic, we all understand, I believe we understand what democracy means. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now let's apply this to a leadership, a leader. When we say leadership, we mean a leader. So democratic, that means the leadership, a leader, that is the leader of the people, by the people, and for the people. So when we say democratic leadership, so I've just given a simple definition of democratic leadership. It's more of like democracy, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay, now I'm going to read out the definition I've got here. A democratic leader makes a decision based on their team's opinion. Did you pick that word? Based on their team's opinion and feedback. So that means you as the leader must be ready to listen to what? To your team, to your followers, okay? You listen to their opinion and feedback. And in simpler word, they get everyone involved in the decision-making process. Okay, now let's apply this to the case of Yoruba Nation. Let's apply this to the case of Yoruba struggle. Like I said, we've got 3 leaders. Okay, now, have your leaders been democratic? That's the question we should ask ourselves. Based on the definition I just read out and based on the explanation I just made, do you think your leaders are democratic? Do you think they listen to your opinion and feedback? Do you think they've acted on your opinion and feedback? That I'll leave that to you in the decision-making process. If they have not actually acted, okay, if they have not weighed your opinion, okay, then they are dictators. A leader can only govern, can lead on consensus. Okay, you must be willing to bring people together, listen to people's opinion, listen to people's feedback, and that's when your leadership will last. If you don't do that, then you are doing the opposite. Honestly, it will not take time for everything to collapse, and which is what we are seeing here, and that is the case of Yoruba Nation. And that will take me on to the next leadership style. So far, we've been able to establish that our leaders are not democratic, okay? And that will take me on to the next, which is autocratic leadership. When we say autocratic, it's more of like a military junta leadership style, okay? And we know what military means. So I'm going to read out the definition I've got here, and this is precisely the opposite of democratic leadership. Okay, democratic leadership, they listen to teams, they listen to their followers' opinion and feedback. However, in the case of autocratic, it is opposite. They don't listen to the opinions of their followers. They don't listen, they don't consider while making decisions. Instead, leaders expect others to adhere to their decision, which is not sustainable in the long run. So so it's more of like military junta. So military junta style of leadership. And if you look at this, have our leaders listened to us? Have they taken our opinion into account? Have they taken our feedback into account? All they do is they make noise. All they do is, they make decisions. No, they don't build consensus. What they do is they dictate. Okay, and so far we could see, based on the explanation I have just given, we could see that this is typical of the leaders of Yoruba nation. They are all autocratic. That's what they do. Okay, they don't actually govern on consensus. They just dictate and they expect you to listen to whatever they say. And gone are those days. Nobody does things that way. Those are the holding days, and no one is going to listen to that. And that is why you see this struggle is in a state of chaos. It's in a state of shock. That is why it is stagnant. That is why you're moving nowhere. Okay, you've not achieved anything so far. What they did is to turn you against each other. When you have leaders that are not actually useless, who don't care about their followers. All they think about is them, them, them. All they think about is their position. All they think about is they see people around them as a threat. Then you are not fit to be in that position. You cannot be a leader. Then you excuse yourself. That will take me on to the third one, and that is license fear. And that license fear, that's a French word. Okay, this is a leadership style, empowers team members and hold them accountable for their work. That means this is more of like a division of labor. This is the leadership styles that divide work. When you go to your place of work, they share how work, they divide work, and you are tasked to do this, you are tasked to do that, you are tasked to do that. That means everybody have their own fair share. So you don't burden one person more than the other. So everybody will take an equal share. You say you've got like 5 people, you just share 20, 20, 20, that's 100. Share it between those 5 people. So you have your own responsibility, cater for yours, do your homework, discharge your own responsibility. And that's what we call division of labor. And which I find really, really interesting, which I think will be good in this struggle. You see, democratic, license fair, I think makes sense. Strategic. Now let's go on to strategic. These are the kind of leadership that use their skills and capability to help team members achieve their long-term goals. It strives to get the best out of people or out of their situation. This is also, it is something that is worth considering. This is what Yoruba nation should consider as well. We are in a struggle. Things will flow, things will not go the way we want them to go. Things will not flow the way we want them to go. Sometimes it goes fine, sometimes it doesn't go fine. But in a situation where things are not going the way it should go, why not consider this strategic style leadership? You have to be strategic. Plan your things, okay? You use skills, you have some capability. There are some of your followers that have these capabilities that you as a leader doesn't have. So why not give them the chance? Let them apply those capabilities, let them apply those skills and see how it will help in the struggle. And that will take me on to the next, coach style. Coach style focuses on identifying and nurturing a team member's strengths and weaknesses, and then develop the strategies and emphasize team members' success. So, in a situation where you have your leaders, okay, we have 3 leaders. We have one that is so old that which I doubt will be capable of taking things forward. Why not coach the other leaders? Why not empower other people to join you? Why not support other people to join the struggle and let them lead as well? Coach them. Okay, you are of age. You cannot run around the way you do when you were 60 or the way when you were 50 or 40 years old. Why not give other people the chance to do that and you coach them? So that is another leadership style that is worth thinking of. And that will take me on to the next style, which is bureaucratic. So when we say bureaucratic, it comes from the word bureaucracy. Okay? And it's a kind of leadership style that sticks to the rules. Okay? For example, they might listen to their team members' opinion while deciding. And at the same time, they stick to the rules. So these things are very important. So I've come up with 6 leadership styles that I think fit into this struggle. And it is worth thinking of. Does any of our leaders possess those styles? Do they possess those leadership styles? Which either the only one, the only that our leaders possess is autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership style. Our leaders are autocratic. You make decisions based on consensus. I have not seen any of the leaders make their decision based on consensus. What they do is impose their will on others, thinking the Yoruba nation belongs to them, thinking they hold Yoruba. They hold Yoruba nation. Look, you are not Yoruba than others. We are all Yorubas. Even some of you leaders are not full Yorubas. Some of you are not full Yorubas. You are just half Yorubas. So for the full Yorubas, there are more Yorubas than you. Okay? So you are not Yoruba than other people. Only we are all Yorubas. So therefore, you don't see people as threats. Okay? You govern by consensus. You rule by consensus. By doing that, you will make your leadership last. But in a situation where you dictate, you are an autocratic leader. All you want to do is dictate, and you expect your followers to listen to you, to adhere to whatever you ask them to do. You just dictate to them, tell them what and what not to do. You are not ready to listen to their opinion. You are not ready to actually lead based on consensus. Then your leadership will not last. It will collapse, and which is what we are seeing today in the struggle. That is what we are seeing today in Yoruba nation. Your leadership is collapsed. Your leadership will not last. Definitely, it will get to a point where the 3 of you will be kicked out. Yeah, that is the truth. And that will take me on. I hope we find this really interesting, this brief explanation on leadership style. And that's going to take me on to the next slide. And so now, and that is on question. So we have discussed types of leadership. Now the question I'm going to ask you is, which of the leadership style has your leader adopted? If I'm to actually answer that question, what I would say is, I've discussed 6 types of leadership styles. Okay, so far I am not blind. I've been in this struggle for like 3 years, and I've seen what the leaders have adopted. I've seen the chaos they have caused between the Yoruba people. They've turned the Yoruba people against each other. In fact, I would say they are toxic. And I stand to be corrected. The leaders are toxic. Okay? So, if I am to answer that question, the leadership style our 3 leaders have adopted so far is autocratic. Autocratic style. Autocratic. They are autocratic. Okay? They are not ready to lead based on consensus. They are not ready to listen to other people. All they are interested in is to dictate, and they want their followers to adhere to their instructions, which is not the right way of doing things. And that will take me on to the next slide. Gradually, we are coming to the end. This is the so now, as a leader, you expect your leader to possess some qualities. You expect that a leaders we have some qualities, we have some attributes, we possess some characteristics. I'm going to take you through those qualities now. Okay, as I'm discussing these qualities with you, begin to examine that within yourself. If your leader in Yoruba nation struggle, if your leader in Biafra nation struggle, if they actually have these qualities, if they have these characteristics, if they possess these attributes. If they do not possess all these things, trust me, they are not a good leader. Run from them, dethrone them. Okay? So I'm going to start the first attribute or qualities I expect a leader should have or possess is empathy. Empathy. When we say empathy, what's the meaning of empathy? The ability to understand and feel what someone else is going through. Your followers are going through hell at the moment. Do you feel their empathy? Some have invested so much, some have spent so much on this struggle. Do you feel that empathy? Do you feel for them? I doubt it. You should try to understand your team and learn what everyone is capable of and make sure that everybody is trained. That's another thing. Are you caring for your followers? Do you empathize with your followers? Okay. Being empathetic can also help a leader to gain the trust of followers. If you ask me, I as a person, I as a Yoruba person, do I trust any of my leaders, Yoruba struggle leaders? Damn no. Ask me why. Here is why. The reason is, okay, the leaders are not empathetic. They have no epitome of empathy in them. No epitome of empathy. So a leader who doesn't have that characteristics, you don't expect your followers to trust you. Okay? If you are not empathetic, you have no epitome of empathy in you. You don't feel for other people. Only listen to them. Only read their lips. Look into their eyes to understand what they are going through. That's what we call empathy. Okay? You as a leader, if you don't have those qualities, then you are not a leader. You better step down. Okay? And if you have those empathies, you have those qualities, that will make your followers trust you. Okay. Embracing other strengths and flaws and acknowledging that we, even the leader, are all imperfect, can help motivate individuals and encourage them to do their best. Are our leaders doing that? Are they encouraging us? Are our leaders motivating us? No, they are not doing that. Instead, what they are doing is they are causing havoc. Okay? That's what they have done so far. As a leader, it is important to make sure we create an environment of being valued. Do we value our leaders? We cannot value them because they do not deserve it. And this environment can be created by leaders listening to team members. That is, leaders listening to your followers and being empathetic towards the effort of every individual in the team. Are you empathetic to your followers? Your followers are the Yoruba people. Are you as a leader, are you empathetic towards them? Do you feel for them? Do you feel there is a need for change? That's up to you to make that decision. And that will take me on to the next slide, which is the second leadership qualities, and that is confidence. Now we've discussed empathy. Okay, I've been able to establish that our leaders, our Yoruba nation leaders, does not have an epitome of empathy in them. So do you think they should be the one to lead the struggle or they do not deserve to lead the struggle? Next is confidence. A good leader are confident in their actions and goals and speak courageously, which helps followers to rally around a goal. And what is our goal? Our goal is to have our own state. Our goal is to have Yoruba state. Our goal is to have Yoruba nation. Our goal is to have a Yoruba country. Okay. And what about our leaders? Are they confident enough? No, they are not confident. How can they be confident? Only they come here, they address you Yoruba people. All they do is lie, lie, lie. Things that doesn't exist, things that you know you don't achieve in the next 6 months. You come out there, you speak to your people and tell them it is achievable within 1 month, which you know is a lie, which you know is not true. So why would you lie to your people? Why would you lie to your people? Why would you deceive your people? And that will take me on to the next, and which is creativity. Before I move on to creativity, in this struggle we have, you as a leader, you must be able to build that confidence with your followers. You let them trust you. Okay? Let your followers trust you. If you are not trusted, you are going to struggle to take this struggle or to take your vision forward. And your vision is Yoruba nation. Okay, creativity. What do you understand by creativity? Creativity is a good leader who understands that a level of creativity is needed for effective problem solving. Do you hear that? A level of creativity is needed for effective problem solving. As you know, struggle is not easy. You, as a leader, cannot do it alone. You need to bring in more people or other people who have the skills and qualities in them, who are creative enough to actually find a way to go about it, to achieve the vision, to achieve those aims and objectives, okay, of having a Yoruba nation. As any of us leaders consider that, no, all they do is they command, they are autocratic, they just make decision. Even when they make decision, when others don't support their decision, they want to impose their decision on others. No, we are independent. We can actually discern right from wrong. We know what is right from wrong. So we are not going to allow any leaders to impose on us. Okay? Next is it is important to create an environment where all ideas are appreciated. Did you hear that? An environment where all ideas are appreciated and valued, even when the silly or crazy ones. Okay. As our leaders actually created that environment where all ideas will be appreciated? No, they do not care about you. What they do is they care about them. It's not about them. This is not about struggle. It's about keeping their position. It's about, I want to be at the top. I don't want anyone to struggle with me. And that is what has led to this chaos. That is what has led to where we are today. Do we have a vision? Yes, we have a vision. Do we have a goal? Yes, we have a goal. But how will we achieve this goal and our vision? We do not have. We have to be honest with ourselves. That will take me on to the next, which is some of the best solution and products can come from an idea that initially seems outrageous. And that is the more reason you need to listen to your followers. As a leader, okay, in the struggle, you need to listen to your followers. You alone cannot do it. Don't give me the fuck. Don't tell me you alone can handle this. This is about a country, okay? You want to have a country of your own. You alone cannot do it. You have to listen to others. There are some who possess some skills. There are some who possess some characteristics. There are some who possess some qualities which you, as a leader, doesn't have. Don't see that as a threat. Take it on board, and that will complement yours, and that will help you in achieving your goal. And next one is accountability. 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 When we say accountability, what do we mean by accountability? Accountability is the ability to follow through on commitments and take ownership of success and failure. This is soul searching to all these leaders. Can any of your leaders account for what they have done so far? In terms of management, money spending, and every other thing. Can they account for everything they have done? I doubt it. It is time we stop supporting rubbish. It is time we stop encouraging rubbish. It is time we look ourselves in the eye and be honest with ourselves. Are leaders accountable? No. Ask them for the documents, how they've been spending money, what they have done so far, how they started, and where we are. They cannot account for any damn thing. And do you think that person is worth being a leader? A person who cannot account? So when it's going fine, when the goodies is going fine, okay, you'll be held accountable for it. You will take the praise. And when it goes the other way, okay, you will also be held accountable for it. Okay, you take responsibility for that. Do not deny it. You are the leader. Next is a good leader who exemplify accountability can inspire followers to take similar accountability for their action. You as a leader, you cannot account for anything. What do you expect your followers to do? Your followers, like world media, look at how they made a mess, they made a fool of themselves. You just look at how they actually unravel the whole thing. Look at how they handle the whole situation, and look at the whole thing today. When you call yourself media, you are a media. You are the face of the struggle. And look at the way you have actually exhibited yourself. Look at the way you've handled the whole thing. Look at the way you have presented yourself. You've actually made a fool of yourself. You've actually disgraced yourself, including your leaders. You leaders disgraced yourself. So you people are not worth representing the Yoruba people because you are an embarrassment. What you have done so far is an embarrassment. Take it or leave it. The truth must be told. You have not presented yourself well, and you are not worth being in that shoe of a leadership. You do not possess those qualities or characteristics. Next is a good leader hold you accountable to be better, to be the best you can while maintaining empathy and compassion when needed. Okay. In the case of Yoruba Nation, it is we have the leaders actually sending out media to insult people. Is that the attribute of a good leader? Is that the attributes, or is it qualities of a good leader? No. So you can see, like you said, wọ́n ní tílé bá ń tò, wọ́n ní ẹ lọ wo leader ibi bẹ̀. Wọ́n ní tílé bá jẹ́ ń dàrú, leader ibẹ̀ náà òun náà ní kẹ́ lọ wò. So in this case, nígbà tá a bá nílé leader tó ṣe pé òun ló ń ti àwọn media bọ́ síta tó ní kọ́ lọ bú ẹni báyìí, kọ́ lọ bú ẹni báyìí, kọ́ bú ẹni báyìí, kọ́ ṣe show fún ẹ tẹ̀ sí lójú, ẹ tẹ̀ sí lójú. Ṣé leader nìyẹn? Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ gba Yorùbá Nation yín gangan nìyẹn? Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn? You do not possess those qualities. You do not possess those leadership qualities. Therefore, ìwọ kọ́ ní position yẹn ló tọ́ sí. And that will take me on to the next, which is a good leader hold themselves and others accountable to the same standard. So if you can hold your followers accountable, you as a leader, you must be ready. Your followers will hold you accountable. Don't think because you are a leader, you are now above every other people. Therefore, you can do and undo, and you will get away with whatever you do. That is not going to happen. Those are the holding ways of doing things. People have changed, things have changed, and no one will tolerate that. So you can see, based on those qualities I've discussed so far, you can see that all is lacking in our leaders. And that's taking me on to the next slide. The next slide. Transparency. For transparency, everything we do, transparency just means everything you do, you account for everything. Make it just visible to everyone to see. Okay, transparency is the ability to openly share information with others, and is generally associated with the openness, communication, and accountability. Are leaders transparent? You can't be leading a whole race, or you say you are leading a struggle, and there is no transparency, there is no openness, there is no communication between yourself and your followers, only few followers. If you think because you are communicating with few followers, that makes you think you are communicating with all your followers. Do not forget that Yoruba people are over 60 million people. So you communicating with how many? Few, that are not even up to 100. That made you think you are communicating with your followers is a lie. You're not communicating with your followers, which is one of the reasons why we're having problem in this struggle. There is no transparency, there is no accountability, there is no communication. This can help followers to be a better understanding of what the leader is trying to achieve, and can help them take ownership of those efforts. If you are transparent, that will help you. Okay, if you are being transparent, you will find yourself in a different position today. It's because of lack of these qualities, lack of these attributes. That is why you three leaders found yourself in a mess today. And that will take me on to the next, which is delegation. And when we say delegation, okay, where you delegate powers, you as a leader cannot do it alone. It is a struggle. Okay, it is an heavy task. You have to allow other people to join you, and you do it together. So, definition. I'm going to give you a brief definition of delegation. The quality requires a leader to trust the ability of their followers to work on their behalf and produce quality outcomes. As you can see, you as a leader, your eye can be everywhere. And that is the more reason why you need to delegate tasks. That is more reason why you need to delegate works. Delegate it to your followers, and they will do it for you. And I expect you to do the same in Yoruba Nation. Okay? By delegating work to others and being humble enough to understand that others may be able to perform a task better, the leader is able to focus their time on other responsibilities, and the team will be able to reach their goal quicker. So, I think this is something that is worth thinking of. These are things you need to consider. You cannot do it alone. Okay, you have to delegate. Okay, give other people the chance to do whatever they can to help their country, to help, I will not even say country, to help their race, to help their people. If you think because you are a leader, then you can do it alone, honestly, you will find yourself parabolating the same spot. You cannot do it alone. As we have seen so far, you've achieved nothing because of all this all this problem, you must be willing and ready to dedicate. Do not see your followers as a threat, okay? Because you are not perfect. There are some skills, there are some attributes, there are some qualities, there are some characteristics that you do not possess. That some of your followers actually have these attributes. What you need to do is you listen to them, okay? Don't take them or see them as a threat, okay? Take that on board. And that qualities which your follower have will complement that of yours. And that will make you achieve your vision on time. That is how it works. Okay, and that will take me to the next. And the next is compassion. Does any of our Yoruba leaders have compassion in this struggle? Are they compassionate at all? Okay, if I am to answer that question, they are not compassionate at all. So far, all the qualities a leader should possess, those leaders doesn't have a dime. They do not possess any of those qualities. So when I say compassion, what do we understand by compassion? So I'm going to give you a brief definition of compassion. Compassion is the ability to feel sympathy for others, often in times of need. We are actually in the time of need. We have the Yoruba people who are in the struggle, who wants a country of their own, who want a state of theirs, who want a nation of theirs. Uh, they are in need. Okay? Be compassionate. We have some that have invested so far in this struggle. They spent a lot in this struggle. And here you left them in the cold. You are not even compassionate. They worked hard, they wake up very early morning, go to work. They are salary owners. Even after working, they get paid. It is this from this morning they are actually financing those projects. How are you careless about them? You see them dying in the cold. You see them weeping. You see them crying. They're in tears. How the whole thing, how the struggle fell apart. But you careless. All you care about is your position. You want to hold on to your position. You don't care if anyone is suffering. You don't care if anyone is. You care less about your followers. Okay. Issue on one's personal life can affect their professional life and ability to complete some task. Okay. So a good leader acknowledge this and make adjustments to their plans and expectations to ensure that those around them are taken care of. What have you done to ensure that your people are taken care of? You have people complaining in this struggle. This is not the way things should go. What have you done to correct those things? What measure have you taken to correct those things as a leader? No, you don't care. You do not care. All you care about is your position. All you care about is someone is trying to snatch your position from you, and you don't want anyone else to snatch your position from you. Listen, you might think, oh, this is my position. This person is trying to snatch this away from you. What about if God decides today that I'm going to actually take that position off you permanently? Can you stop God? You can stop human. So the question is, can you stop God? You cannot stop God. So when we do things, okay, we have to be very, very careful how we do things. And that will take me on to the next, which is humility. Are leaders humble? I'm going to give you a brief definition of humble. Okay, to have humility means not to be assertive or arrogant. To be humble. Good leaders who practice humility give credit where it is due and celebrate the success of others instead of celebrating just their own. Are you humble enough to your followers? You do not care about them. If you cared about them, you have your followers complaining and you ignore them, which has actually led to the fall of this struggle. That will take me on to the next, which is great. Great is the perseverance and passion needed to reach a long-term goal. Despite all obstacles, good leader know that the path of success is anything but easy and lenient, and they are up for the challenge. Are you leader up to that challenge? Do you think you are the right person for this job? Do you think you are the right person to lead this struggle? Think about that. Okay, soul searching. Vision. Vision is another one. A leader without a vision is visionless. A leader without a vision will achieve nothing. Okay? So, and when we say vision, what do we understand by vision? A visionary leader are able to look at a problem from a bird's eye view. Did you hear that? Bird eye view. And develop their path to find a solution, and then they help others to stay focused on their goal and can plant and recenter a team when things don't go as planned. Now we know we are in a state of shock. We are in a state of chaos. Okay? Now we know that some of these leaders have no vision. Some of these leaders have no blueprint. Some of these leaders have no plan. It is obvious. You don't need to defend yourself. We know that you have no plan. Now that you have realized this, what steps have you taken? Okay? What steps have you taken? There must be accountability. In everything we do, there must be accountability. Excuse me? There must. There must be accountability. You don't want people to hold you accountable. You want to continue to lead. You don't want people to hold you accountable. Is that how you manage things? Is a question. Okay, that will take me on to another, which is integrity. Does any of our leaders have integrity? A leader who is not humble, a leader who is not transparent, a leader who is not accountable, a leader who doesn't have a vision. You don't expect our leaders to have that integrity. There's no doubt that integrity will be it's definitely absent. So I'm going to give you a brief definition of integrity. Okay. I'll describe it as a quality of having strong moral value and honesty. Does any of your leaders in the Yoruba nation struggle have that integrity? Which I doubt. At least we're saying some secrets were actually got leaked out, and we know these leaders they lack that integrity to lead the struggle or to take the struggle forward. They lack the integrity. Make absolute integrity the compass that guide you in everything you do, and surround yourself only with people of flawless integrity. Integrity is all you have got. So there is an adage that says it takes time to build that integrity, but it only takes a second to destroy. Okay? None of our leaders have these characteristics. So far, if you ask me, from those characteristics I've read out, does any of our leaders have these characteristics? I would say they are far-fetched from it. They are far-fetched from the truth. None of our leaders have these characteristics, so they are not the best. They are not in a position to lead the struggle, and they are not positioned to lead the struggle. Okay? A struggle where there is lack of transparency, where there is lack of accountability, where there is lack of vision, where there is lack of humility, and so on and so forth, then those leaders must step down. That will take me on to the next slide, which I've already asked. I've asked questions as regarding, does your leader possess those qualities? Do they have those qualities? Do they have those attributes? Do they have those characteristics? Those characteristics that a responsible and a good leader should have. Do they have it? If I am to answer that question, I will say no. None of those leaders have those characteristics, none of those leaders have those attributes, and none of those leaders have those qualities. Therefore, they are not the right person for the role. And that is it for today. Okay. And that is it. So now, if I'm to summarize everything we have done so far, I will tell you that a leader, there are some qualities you expect a leader to possess. A leader must be able to manage his followers. Not only that, in managing your followers, you must be willing to listen to your followers as well. Not only managing, not only leading your followers. You must be willing and ready to listen to your followers. In a situation where you are the only one just dictating, okay, then your leadership will not last. It will collapse, which is what we have seen today in Yoruba Nation. Take it or leave it. Okay, this is a simple analysis, and this is a simple conclusion. Okay, and my conclusion is those leaders are not the right people to lead the struggle. They are not the right people to take this struggle forward. Take it or you leave it. So on this note, I'm going to end my presentation here. I'm going to play a bit of music. Okay, I'm going to play a music, and then we end it for the day. We end it for the day. So let me just end it with this music. Let me end it with this music. So yeah, so I'm going to play this. And we end it for the day. And I hope we had a good discussion today. And I hope going forward we've learned something from this analysis. Okay, how you manage people, what you expect to see from the leaders' characteristics, leaders' qualities, and attributes. Does any of your leaders possess these attributes?
Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọba Ìsá Olúṣọlá Adéníyì Ọláníyàn, Onípòkíà ti ilẹ̀ Òkè-Àà tó jẹ́ ọba pàtàkì nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn darandaran tí ó ń dààmú wa láàmú ìlú kan nínú ojú. Gbogbo Yorùbá sì ń dájà nítorí àwọn ìgbàgbé tí kan pàápàá Yorùbá àti sọ̀rọ̀. Àwa dárò náà dá sọ́nù ìgbòho. Yorùbá ò lè tán, ẹ má fọ́n ta lọ́rọ̀ sọ, kó má bá ọ̀dẹ abájọ wa, ẹ̀tàn ló fi gbà ṣẹṣẹ lọ́wọ́ wa, kò yé wa. Níṣẹ́ náà bring words wa torí tó bá dìgbà kan fẹ́ mú wa, lọ́ sì gbà ṣẹṣẹ lọ́wọ́ wa. Yorùbá ẹ ti ń sọ, àní ẹyẹ sọ, oyè ẹ ti máa sùn, kọ́ má padà mú wa ní rògbò èso. Lórí ogun bọ̀ ogun ẹ tètè ta múra o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká múra ètò Yorùbá. Ṣebí ìjọ lárọ́bá níta ni ló di ìjọba. Ẹ̀yin ọba wa, ṣe bẹ́yìn náà ni bàbá wa. Ẹ má lajú ní ìsìlẹ̀ kájéjì kó gba ilẹ̀ wa. kan yẹ pa àwọn èèyàn wa lójú yìí ẹ jẹ́ kó bá padà sáyọba káṣe kan lè padà sẹ́nu ọba olóṣèlú gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbàṣọba ṣèbí ẹ̀ kankan náà pè ní ìjọba ó ti pẹ́ tí Yorùbá ti fẹnu ṣe ó yẹ kúrò lóko eré lọ́wọ́ yìí ẹ dúró dédé kí tẹ́nàtì má padà lé onílé Yorùbá ẹ ti ń sọ àní ẹyẹ sọ ó yẹ ti máa sùn kọ́ má padà mú wà ní òpó èso lórí ogun bọ̀ ogun tètè ká múra ogun bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká múra Yorùbá ìjà yìí ti ṣe jásán gbogbo ṣàníkan ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ó yẹ dìde ẹ̀yìn alágbára àsìkò ti tó wọn kì í sọ fáfọ́jú kò tó ń lọ òun kan máa mọ̀ ẹ jáwọ́ lápọ̀n tí ó yọ ẹja gómìnà bàdàn ìgbọràn sàn jẹbọ rírun ẹ jẹ́ kó tó àlàkòrò dúdú kò sẹ́ni bọ̀dí tó lè rínú Yorùbá ló dalẹ̀ jù ẹ má fi bínú ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ẹ̀yìn Yorùbá gbogbo Yorùbá ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra nínú òkun ẹ̀gbọ́n ti ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra lọ́tí tó ṣe máa jẹ ọ̀la ní ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ilẹ̀ dalẹ̀ Abíọ́lá ká ó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ilẹ̀ dalẹ̀ tó ṣe ìdí àgọ́ ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ìjọwọ́ wa ní Yorùbá máa kọ́ ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra Yorùbá gbọ́ àtẹnujẹ ló ń pa wọn ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ẹ̀kọ́ òye kápẹ́ olóko ẹ̀rù yẹn ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra àwọn aláṣọ wa wà kìsà ó tún fẹ́ ní ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ẹ̀rọ wa ń dẹkùn ó tún dùnú ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ọ̀pọ̀ lè ṣàǹfààní fún wa náà tí kò lọ ẹ̀rù yìí tó ra ó yẹ dídí ó ti pẹ́ tí Yorùbá ti fẹnu ṣe ó yẹ kúrò lóko eré lọ́wọ́ yìí ẹ dúró dédé kí tẹ́nàtì má padà lé onílé.
Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ Sunday Igboho nìkan ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni àṣẹ dáadáa olóṣèlú wà wọ́n lọ ní gbogbo ẹ̀yìn àtàbà ọba lálàkàfẹ́ ọ̀lẹ́nìṣà aláàfin àwùjalẹ̀ aláàfin ṣọ̀rọ̀ ìgbọ̀nsọ̀ aláàjì ọ̀rọ̀ àkáyé nígbà bàbá sọ̀rọ̀ àtàkàtẹ̀ pàpàdàtẹ̀ àwọn àtàkàtẹ̀ tó tó bá dé ní.
Bóyá sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ẹ̀yin ọba Yorùbá àgbàgbà ọmọ tó ti ga orin láti bàbá mélòdì ẹgbẹ́ mi lákọ̀ọ́rin ọba.
Okay, so that is it for today. So we end the show here today. Hopefully, if time permits me, I'll come out before the end of the week again and to make a presentation on how we take this struggle forward. So thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoy today's show and you have a good rest. Thank you. Bye.